Hi, welcome to this AQA A-Level Business Revision video looking at 3.3.4, Making Marketing Mix Decisions. Today we're going to be looking at the promotional mix, a somewhat difficult part of the marketing mix because it's so abstract and intricate into what the business does. A quick reminder that my teaching here is separate from my teaching and consultation roles to any and all schools and academies and trusts throughout the country. My name's Mr. Giles. Let's get down to business. Promotion can be tricky because there is no concrete answer to what is promotion and what strategies can be used. There is in that there's theory that we can know, but a lot of these questions are often asked in the context of case studies. And if you go back through some past papers, you might recognize that there was a paper two at one point that was asking about whether a business should use social media advertising or flyers. And there was a bar graph and it kind of got you to work out where the best money was spent. Okay, so it's not a kind of cut and dry. It's not like pricing where it'll ask you for a definition. Okay, but it's actually quite interesting in that you can try and figure out what would be best for the business based off of what their objectives are and other parts of the marketing mix. So let's just jump into it. It's called the promotional mix for a reason because businesses will use a mixture of these types of promotion, and they're like kind of like dials on a DJ desk. They'll dial some up and dial some down to get the perfect mix for them. The main influence, and this is a question they do like to ask, the main influence on this really probably is finance and your budget. We love to say that social media is free. It's not, folks. You can make as many accounts as you want. You're going to get zero exposure unless you pay for it or you go viral. Okay. So we have to have some money for this kind of stuff. And as you see, we work down our list. Some of this stuff is super expensive. And now, is that appropriate for your business? Does it have the budget? So if we're in, say, paper three and we've got this massive multinational business, they've probably got a budget for marketing. But if we're in paper one and they love asking about sole traders in paper one, maybe TV advertising isn't the one. So let's have a little look. We've got social media marketing. I don't have to tell you guys about social media marketing. You already know, but it's often referred to as interrupt marketing. That's what it's known as because it's paying to put ads on people's timelines. Now, social media can be leveraged for like viral marketing, getting viral moments, getting influencers to get involved. And they do like to ask about that. AQA do have their finger on the pulse. So they will ask you about possible, virality and bits and pieces. But the problem with social media marketing is it is a swamped, kind of saturated market, and it's really hard to stand out. Now, you've probably all had this where you were having a conversation about something you don't normally have a conversation about, and then suddenly your socials are now flooded with all of this information, and you might get two or three brands. I'll give you a silly example. A friend of mine was talking about electrolytes. He's a runner. It's been really hot in the summer. He was getting cramp. I've mentioned electrolytes to him. Suddenly he and I are getting adverts for 1, 2, 3, 4 different companies selling electrolytes, literally almost one after the other. So it is a saturated market. So that's social media marketing. Generally speaking, it's more flexible in the budget. TV, listen, folks, I don't know who's watching TV right now. Maybe we'll kind of add TV to YouTube because we do get adverts on YouTube. I wouldn't consider that social media per se. So maybe we'll chuck it in there. But as we know, anything that involves a screen is very expensive, but you have a bit more artistic license. You can tell a bit more of a story. You can enhance your brand, all that kind of stuff. The problem with TV is most people are watching TV on demand now. So adverts, you can skip or you kind of just don't watch them. So there is a time and a place for that. Obviously, I'm from a time when TV adverts were like the be all and end all because we couldn't skip them. Magazines, that could be digital magazines or kind of like print magazines. They're still full of adverts, full page adverts where, if you're thinking like your favorite kind of men's or ladies magazines for fashion or all that kind of stuff, you'll always get the pages with fragrances or try this soap or whatever. That's that kind of deal there. Again, that's probably only appropriate for certain things. The beauty of magazines is that you can put the appropriate advert in the appropriate magazine. So if you sell a photography item, you can put it in the 3 photography magazines that are the biggest in the country. They still exist. People still read them. So it's quite good at getting to your niche. Then we have sales promotion. Sales promotion is the buy one, get one free. On the back of your receipt, you're going to get 20% off, 20% extra, all that kind of stuff. Anything that basically tries to enhance the amount of things that people buy. So one of my favorites is Links. Whenever Links do their, 33% extra in the can, that's my favorite sales promotion of them because it makes me buy Links instead of whatever else I was going to buy. Buy one, get one free works a treat. We all love a buy one, get one free because you might not have been buying that product, but because you're going to get two for the price of one, it entices you to buy it. The other one is any kind of discount code. Discount codes are really kind of big, aren't they, at the moment, especially on the internet? Everyone's got a discount code for something. So, are we going to go 2 for Tuesdays at, the cinema with meerkats or whatever? It's all that kind of stuff. Now, the problem with sales promotion is that it can dent your brand. So, like, for example, we talked about it in the pricing video, but is Ralph Lauren going to be doing a buy one, get one free? I mean, I hope so, because I love their stuff, but it's not going to happen. In fact, they don't even do discount codes. So sales promotion isn't for everyone. Up next, direct marketing. Consider yourselves very lucky, young people, that you've never had to deal with this. This was when you would get emails, which I've put down here, but we'll do that in a second. But more specifically, pieces of paper in the post with your name on. They would come in an envelope, and it still happens now. Your parents probably still get them. You might even get them. And it looks like an official letter. Now, folks, the only people who send you letters in 2025 and beyond is the bank or somebody you owe money to. So whenever you get a letter, generally someone wants some money or you're in trouble. So you open those letters with anxiety in your heart, and it's, hey, the new Ford Ranger. And you're like, oh, come on, give me a break. But because you bought a Ford Ranger in the past, they've directly marketed to you. So direct marketing is when you send marketing to a specific person. It has their name, their address, whatever. It's to them. It sounds like it's written to them, but it's actually an advertisement. So there's that. This one, again, probably only really useful for high ticket items. You're not going to be doing it for cheap stuff. Haribo are not going to be using direct marketing, folks. All right. But, Ford Ranger or Ford send me a letter every year with the latest cars because I bought a Ford many years ago. Then we have email marketing. I feel like this one is one that's not understood by many people. And if you've got any ambition to be an entrepreneur, you need to learn this real fast. It's one of the ways that I grew my business very, very quickly. I will do a video about my business maybe another day. So email marketing is when you have to put your email address in to get to the next phase of a sales funnel. So it's, oh, hey, do you want this recipe book? Sure, click here. You click, it goes to the next screen, enter your email address, and I'll send you that recipe book for free. You click it, you get the recipe book, and now they've got your email. And now they're sending you emails all day, every day. Now, of course, you can unsubscribe from that. That's fine. But you would be surprised how effective it is. Now, I'm talking from the perspective of a consumer because I get quite a few emails every day, sometimes multiple times a day from the same companies about deals, offers, new products, all that kind of stuff. And I find myself clicking through more often than I would like to, even though I know I don't need any of this stuff. They're just advertising it to me. If it's from brands that I've bought before, I will always click through and have a look to see what's up. And then they can entice me to buy from there. So it does work. Don't think it doesn't work, because it does. But it needs a funnel to get you there. And then lastly, we've got branding. Branding is a tricky promotional mix skill because it requires you to have such a strong promise and deliver on that promise that you don't really have to do a lot of the others. Now, we'll carry on talking about Ralph Lauren just because it's one of my favorite brands. Ralph Lauren do advertise. I get adverts for them frequently, okay? But not on the TV, not in magazines, not on YouTube and places like that. It's generally on my social media, and it comes across as a sponsored ad, generally after I've looked up for something, Ralph, to be fair. Like normally if I'm like looking for something and I go look, then it'll pop up in my bit. But all it really is, it's not even anything interesting. It's just people wearing clothes walking, and their brand is so strong that even though I know it's made in Vietnam and places like that, so it's not even the best quality, I'll still buy into the promise of wearing Ralph Lauren. So that's how branding really works. Now, there are better examples of that because there are some companies that don't do any advertising. I'll use some car examples, Bugatti, Ferrari, places like this. Like, where are they advertising? Now, obviously, I'm not in their market yet, guys. If you watch some of these videos, I might be. But where are they advertising? Because it's nowhere that I've seen, because they probably don't have to. Everybody knows. So their brand is their promotional mix strategy. So how do you decide your promotional mix? Well, you decide where you want to allocate your budget as to where your customers are and what product it is that you're trying to promote. Again, we have to remember that all of this is interdependent, it's interlinked. So we're going to link it all the way back to our product and our Boston matrix. What pricing strategy are we doing? If we're using, say, premium pricing, as discussed in the pricing video, am I doing buy one, get one free? No. Okay. They all kind of interlink together. Remember, go back to that very first video about the marketing mix. This is a working document. It's a plan that's ever evolving. That will do it for the promotional mix because there really isn't much nuance to it other than that. If you have any questions, by all means, put them in the comments down below and I will answer them as quickly as I can. You stay safe and I'll see you in the next one.